How is it going, everyone? We are coming up on the release of one of the biggest games of the year and the latest entry in one of the bigger franchises of the last 2 decades. And of course, I'm talking about Borderlands 4 from Gearbox Software. It's been 6 years since the last mainline Borderlands title, and I want to go over some of the key information that you should know about Borderlands 4 before you spend your $70 on the game, although it could go up all the way to $130 for the Super Deluxe Edition. So we'll break down every edition. That's one of the main aspects I want to go over. We'll go over some key information about the game, and I do want to note that if you are looking to buy this game on PC and Steam, our friends over at Green Man Gaming do have the game heavily discounted. They have it listed at $70, but you want to use the code SEP15, that's SEP15, you'll save 15% off on the game. The standard edition will actually be south of $60, and you won't pay tax either. You'll get a Steam key. It redeems directly on there. You'll get the pre-purchase bonuses, which again, we'll go over all of that. And you can get the Deluxe Edition and the Super Deluxe Edition respectively discounted as well with the same promo code. Again, link in the description box below, and if you do buy it using our affiliate link, we do get a kickback, which is much appreciated. And we'll go over the additions and what they include at the latter portion of this video. But Borderlands 4 is a mayhem-fueled looter-shooter. If you're familiar with the Borderlands gameplay, you'll feel right at home. It's jam-packed with billions of weapons, deadly enemies, and intense co-op action. Break free from a dangerous hidden planet as one of 4 new badass vault hunters to choose from. And all of them will have their distinct gameplay elements and style as well. Borderlands 4 brings intense action, badass vault hunters, and billions of wild and deadly weapons to an all-new planet ruled by a ruthless tyrant. Crash into Chyros as one of 4 new vault hunters seeking wealth and glory. Wield powerful action skills, customize your build with deep skill trees, and dominate enemies with dynamic movement abilities. Break free from the oppressive Timekeeper, a ruthless dictator who dominates the masses from on high. Now a world-altering catastrophe threatens his perfect order, unleashing mayhem across the planet. The game nodes become an unstoppable force of battle, blasting through enemies with an all-new arsenal of outrageous weaponry. And obviously, the weaponry that you have at your disposal is one of the key factors of Borderlands, and the depth to it is going to be bigger than ever in Borderlands 4. Move across the Borderlands like never before. Double jumping, gliding, dodging, grappling, and more. The traversal is being heavily improved, dealing death from every direction. Explode each encounter with devastating action skills that unleash your Vault Hunter's unique abilities, and depending on which Vault Hunter you pick, obviously you'll have different abilities to utilize. Craft your perfect build with branching skill trees and a deep, rewarding loot chase full of wild weapons and powerful gear. You can play solo or co-op. I know going back to 2009, Borderlands was always kind of promoted to be this co-op experience. I personally have played through every Borderlands game solo. I've played them cooperatively as well, but the solo experience, I think, in Borderlands is severely underrated. I actually quite enjoy playing solo. Wreaking havoc across Chyros is awesome alone, and even better with friends in 4-player online co-op. Borderlands 4 is designed for co-op from the ground up, whether you're hunting for loot, tackling missions, or wandering freely. Level scaling and individual difficulty keeps the party together and having fun. You'll freely explore a vast and dangerous world with warring factions. Hop on your hover bike and ride through lush fields, towering peaks, and deadly deserts full of fearsome enemies, dynamic events, and engaging quests with unforgettable characters. Unite the people of Chyros and ignite a revolution, tackling this adventure however you see fit in a seamless Borderlands experience. It does seem like it's a scaled back game in the sense of you're not going to have this gigantic, overwhelming open world, which honestly, given the state of gaming these days, I am totally on board with that. We have enough overwhelming open worlds. I think Borderlands 4's style of world design, much more up my alley, and I think it works for the context of Borderlands as well. As far as the Vault Hunters go, which are an integral aspect of the game, you do have 4 Vault Hunters right out the gate. In Borderlands 4, you play as a Vault Hunter, a mercenary on the hunt for alien vaults, wielding wild guns and devastating abilities. Each Vault Hunter class offers a unique playstyle that empowers you with one of 3 signature abilities called action skills, and between your action skills and 3 branching skill trees, each packed with socketable abilities and potent passive effects, you can create a huge variety of supremely powerful builds, leading the game to being incredibly replayable as well. That's something Borderlands has always had going for it, in the sense of, yeah, you can play through the game as one character, but then there's always a reason to go back, play through it as another, have a different build going on, and experience the game again. That'll offer a little bit of a different experience as well. And you've got 4 Vault Hunters that will be available right out the gate on launch: Vex the Siren, Rafa the Exo Soldier, Aman the Forge Knight, and Harlo the Gravitar. You've also got the details on all of them. Vex is the Siren. Vex had a rough upbringing that was made more complicated by receiving her siren powers. Her cynical and sarcastic demeanor comes from having to fend herself and scrape for everything she's got. But underneath her salty exterior, Vex is an empath who knows better than anyone how much life can suck. Ever the pessimist, Vex still believes in helping others, and if helping others means dealing damage to oppressive jerks, Vex will always be first in line. She wields supernatural phase energy to devastating effect. Vex can use that energy to empower herself or channel it to create deadly minions that fight alongside her. We've also got the Vault Hunter basics for Vex. 3 distinct action skills are available to each Vault Hunter, but only one can be equipped at a time. As far as Vex's abilities, she's got Siren Vault Hunter trait of Phase Covenant. Vex is attuned to the elemental type of her current gun, converting all action skill and melee damage into that type as well. Siren action skills include Dead Ringer, the 4th Seal, a skill tree, charge skill, a spawn of Phase Clone minion choosing a Spectre or Reaper. Phase Clones lose an ever-increasing amount of health per second, and their damage type matches Vex's current attunement when spawned. Can spawn a Reaper that taunts enemies and deals a melee attack damage, or a Spectre that deals gun damage and cannot move. You've got Incarnate. Vex creates a phase explosion, dealing damage to nearby enemies and fully restoring her health. While active, Vex can use Eldritch Blast and gains increased movement speed as well. And then you've got the phase familiar. Vex is joined by her minion Trouble. When killed, Trouble will respawn after a cooldown. Press the action skill to teleport Trouble, dealing damage in an area. Trouble then transforms into a badass, fully restoring health and gaining increased damage for a duration. Then you've got Rafa, the Exo Soldier. Rafa was born and raised in microgravity, which severely altered his bone density, making it impossible for him to survive elsewhere. Desperate to explore, he signed up to the military force. In exchange for a tour of duty, his body was altered for a new kind of exosuit. But when it became clear it was never intended to end his service, Rafa went AWOL. Now he's on the run and plans to enjoy whatever time he has left before his dead frame ends him for good. Using the high-tech weaponry built into his dead frame exosuit, Rafa can blast enemies from afar using the Lance Arm Cannon, and he could use his shoulder-mounted Peacebreaker Cannon to unleash eviscerating melee attacks up close with his twin arc knives and energy blades as well. Rafa's ability is Overdrive. When he activates an action skill, he enters Overdrive, and while an action skill is active, Overdrive's duration does not decrease. You've got the Lance. Equip Rafa's Lance, an offhanded arm cannon that decreases gun handling but allows him to fire piercing shock ordnance blasts. Any unused charges when the Lance ends are converted into action skill cooldown. You've got the Peacebreaker Cannon. He equips a shoulder-mounted Peacebreaker Cannon which fires at enemies in front of him for a duration, dealing kinetic gun damage, and then the arc knives as well. He puts his guns and equips his arc knives, blades that deal melee damage and mark enemies whenever they damage, causing them to take increased damage for every mark on them as well. Then you've got the Forge Knight, Aman. Aman was raised in a vault monster worshipping cult until the vault was opened and the creature turned on everyone he loved. As the only survivor, he dedicates his life to finding and killing as many of these beasts as he can. Aman, a warrior poet, is introspective and unflinching to his duty, but despite his hardened appearance, he has a warm attitude, often regaling comrades in arms with stories and advice earned throughout his travels. As a highly customizable tank, Aman can use his weaponized drones to adapt to any situation, including a wide range of forge skills that add an extra layer of utility to every action skill on top of that. The Forge skill is Aman's ability. Aman gains Forge skill depending on his equipped action skill. Forge skills can be activated by pressing and holding an action button. You've got Molten Slam, press and hold action skill to slam a Molten Forge hammer into the ground, dealing incendiary and melee damage to enemies in a large area. You've got Firewall, press and hold to deploy a firewall that absorbs enemy projectiles and grants friendly projectiles that pass through it increased damage. And Double Edge, throw a Twin Forge Axe, dealing cryo melee damage to enemies it passes through and returning to Aman, dealing incendiary melee damage on the way back. And then you've got the action skills of Onslaughter. Aman overloads his Forge Fist, gaining a constant shield regeneration, bonus incendiary damage with guns, and increased movement speed. You've got Scourge. Aman equips a Forge Shield that absorbs all frontal damage as Vengeance. Whenever the Vengeance meter is filled, Forge Shield provides damage reduction instead. And then Crucible, Aman readies Forge Axes that can be thrown and picked up off the ground to refund cooldown. It can throw a Flame Axe, dealing incendiary melee damage, or a Frost Axe, dealing cryo melee damage. That is Aman. And then finally, you have Harlo, the Gravitar. Harlo is a former Male 1 combat scientist driven by the need to understand how things work. While this initially made her an outcast amongst her Tron relatives, Harlo has used her intellect to bring new tech and gadgetry to the battlefield. As a Vault Hunter, Harlo's brilliance is apparent in everything she does, but so is her enthusiasm and love for life. Harlo brings everything to the fight, including her sunny disposition, always ready to give a beatdown. Her spirit can't be beat. Using her collection of clever contraptions, Harlo has a huge impact on whether she's crowd controlling enemies with cryo and radiation damage or enhancing her allies' survivability. Her Chroma Accelerator unleashes an unstable energy pocket of cryo damage that chills anything in its wake. She can isolate priority targets by suspending them in a stasis bubble created by her Halo Accelerator as well. She's got the entanglement ability. Whenever Harlo uses her action skill on enemies, those enemies become entangled. And entangled enemies share a portion of gun damage and skill damage with all other entangled enemies, so you can do damage to multiple enemies at once. Her abilities include the Chroma Accelerator. Fire an unstable energy pocket from Harlo's Chroma Accelerator. The unstable energy pocket passes through enemies and deals cryo damage to all enemies it passes near. You've got 0-point press action skill to use Harlo's Halo Accelerator to place an enemy in stasis for a duration. Enemies immune to stasis take damage instead. And then you've got the Flux Generator. Harlo throws her Flux Generation in front of her, which projects an energy field, dealing cryo damage over time and entangling enemies. Allies inside the energy field gain Overshield. That is just the tip of the iceberg on all of the information on the Vault Hunters. I'll leave a link in the description box below where if you want even more insight, their respective skill trees and how you can improve them, check out the link. It's all available on the official Borderlands 2K website. As far as online and couch co-op goes, play solo or team up with friends to wreck looter shooter havoc across Chyros. Borderlands 4 supports up to 4-player co-op online on all platforms, and you will have 2-player split-screen co-op on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. Looks like no split screen on PC, which is a little bit of a bummer. Cross-platform play between all platforms is fully supported, so you can play with your friends wherever they are, powered by an improved lobby system for drop-in, drop-out action, with instance loot for each player, dynamic level scaling, individual difficulty settings, and the option to fast travel directly to your co-op buddies. Borderlands 4 keeps the party together and having fun through the whole campaign. If you do want to take advantage of crossplay, you will require a shift account, so keep that in mind. Chyros is where the game takes place. This vast, beautiful world is rife with warring factions, deadly fauna, and subjugated inhabitants under the rule of the oppressive Timekeeper. Chyros has 4 distinct, seamlessly connected regions to explore: the rolling hills of the Fade Fields, the frigid peaks of Terminus Range, the shattered lands of Carcadia Burn, and finally, the Dominion, the Timekeeper's impenetrable fortress city. The Fade Fields notes, with radiant beaches, whimsical rolling hills, and verdant forests, the Fade Fields appear to be a temperate paradise, but under the serene veneer, danger lurks among darkness and long-buried secrets. Idolator Sora rules the Fairfields, ruthlessly controlling food and supplies to appease his beloved Timekeeper. Then you've got the Carcadia Burn. Bug-marked sandscapes and jagged desert canyons dot the landscape of the Burn, which has been fractured and torn apart by celestial cataclysm. Here the Rippers swarm to fulfill the vision of their queen, siphoning resources to fuel their fight against the Order. Caught in between warring armies, the Elect fight a dire battle for survival. Then you've got Terminus Range. The towering peaks of Terminus Range are unsympathetic as they are cold. Shadowed secrets, both ancient and man-made, hide beneath the windswept mountain passes and blinding snowstorms. The hardy and insular, when they aren't mining ordnate under Vile Lictor's terrifying gaze, clutch the warmth in their carved halls. And then finally, we have Dominion, an unwavering monument to the Timekeeper's absolute control. Dominion City towers about Chyros, a constant reminder of his power. But beneath the glimmer of its pearlescent promenades, citizens huddle in ramshackle dwellings and pray for escape from the walled-off city, or for the Timekeeper to bestow his favor upon them. Outside of the main 4 Vault Hunters, you do have a variety of other characters that are going to be a part of the story, including Amara, a bold, battle-hardened siren who thrives in a fight armed with ethereal fists and a no-nonsense attitude. She's a hero to some and a brawler to R. You've got Levane, a poised and witty woman who suffers no fools unless they're useful fools. Rush, an affable leader of the Outbounders who goes to great lengths to care for his people. Moxie, a bold, flirtatious, and deadly entrepreneur known for her charm, sharp wit, and gladiatorial love for the fight. You've of course got Timekeeper, the well-mannered and disturbingly calm tyrant who rules over the prison planet of Chyros. Obsessed with the order, he uses cybernetic implants to watch over and control his citizens. You've got Claptrap, of course, the iconic character of Borderlands, a fast-talking, over-enthusiastic robot built by Hyperion and now recruiting resistance fighters on Chyros. Eager for adventure and desperate for friendship, Claptrap is still as relentless as he is endearing. You've got Zane, a semi-retired hitman turned vault hunter, equal parts cocky and charismatic. He treats every fight like a job and every job like a joke, but he'll always have your back when it counts. And the Defiant Calder, whose sense of justice far outmeasures his stature, both boisterous and resourceful. Calder laughs in the face of danger and is determined to see the end of the Timekeeper's reign over his people. You've got a wide variety of weapons as well. Every Vault Hunter knows that you'll always need an arsenal of outrageously powerful guns at the ready. There are 8 unique manufacturers supplying the billions of wild and deadly weapons you'll find in Borderlands 4, each with their own characteristics and trademark strengths. With the new licensed part systems, you'll even find guns with behaviors and abilities. With 8 different manufacturers and a variety of different parts, there's going to be a lot of depth into the weapon offerings. And as far as new game mechanics, you've got the ability to ride on your Digirunner. Cruising around Chyros is a breeze on your personalized vehicle where you can summon almost anywhere. When you're not jet boosting across a huge expanse or using the Digirunner's front-mounted turret to mow down enemies, you can customize its components and handling via unlockable hover drives and give it a new aesthetic with collectible cosmetics. Explore with Echo 4. This loyal drone buddy is always ready to provide guidance with the press of a button, showing you the best path across Chyros to your next objective. Your Echo 4 also lets you upgrade your ammo carrying capacity or change your Vault Hunter's cosmetic appearance no matter where you are, and you'll take Chyros back as you traverse Chyros. Keep an eye out for points of interest that you can claim for your Crimson Resistance, weakening the Timekeeper's grip on the planet. Once you've wiped out any nearby enemies, you can reclaim places like safe houses to expand your fast travel options, or solace with decommission order communication balloons that let you take to the sky, scope out your next target, and aid your search for elusive vault key fragments. That is just a drop in the bucket to everything that Borderlands 4 is going to have, and even at launch, Borderlands 4 is still just going to be a drop in the bucket to everything that is going to be available in the game, because they've already rolled out their post-launch roadmap of content that will be coming to the game after the launch of the game. The launch of Borderlands 4 is just a little ways away on September the 12th, but the team at Gearbox is already hard at work on vault load of post-launch content, including lots of new story content and 2 new Vault Hunters. Yes, they are going to lock away some Vault Hunters behind paid DLC, so you know, you gotta pay to play. We all know how 2K is gonna work, and if you played Borderlands 3, you saw how much DLC that game had. It is what it is, and in-game events that'll keep your adventures on Chyros going strong. For now, as we prepare to wreak havoc against the tyrannical Timekeeper as one of the 4 badass new Vault Hunters, we hope the roadmap above offers an exciting sense of what's coming after launch. There's also post-launch content you can expect, including paid content via DLC packs and free DLC content available for everyone. Story packs with new Vault Hunters and new story scenarios. Further out from launch, we'll see extended post-launch narrative content Borderlands fans know and love, with 2 story packs coming in 2026 and the first arriving in Q1. Each story pack will include multiple main missions and side missions set in a new zone of Chyros, a brand new Vault Hunter, new gear to earn, and a bunch of new cosmetics, namely 2 Vault Hunter heads usable by all Vault Hunters, 2 Vault Hunter heads used for the new Vault Hunter, 4 Vault Hunter skins usable by all Vault Hunters, 4 weapon skins, 2 vehicle paint jobs, 3 Echo 4 drone skin and attachments, and 1 Echo 4 frame. The first story pack will be a bloody cosmic horror inspired tale entitled Mad Ellie and the Vault of the Damned. As you might have guessed, it stars the one and only Ellie, mechanic extraordinaire and daughter of Moxie. That's all we can say about the narrative specifics at the moment, and you can look forward to seeing new and returning characters in each story pack. If you've played any of the full-fledged DLC adventures from Borderlands 3, you can expect a similar level of intense looter-shooter action, gripping stories, and killer new loot to collect in Borderlands 4's story pack DLCs. We know that additional Vault Hunters are always a big request from the community, so we can't wait for you to meet Borderlands 4's DLC Vault Hunters. It can't be understated how impactful each DLC Vault Hunter will be, offering all new possibilities and build playstyles with their 3 unique action skills and branching skill trees, just like the base game Vault Hunters. That is code for you better buy that Super Deluxe Edition for $130 if you really want to get the full effect of all of the content that Borderlands 4 is gonna have. I'm just throwing that out there. There's also going to be bounty packs with new missions, legendary gear, and loot-filled vault cards as well. And as far as free content goes, there will be invincible bosses, weekly challenges, pearlescent rarity, a new loot tier above legendary, and seasonal mini events as well, and endgame with ultimate vault hunter mode, and more. Look, this is one of those games that the DLC plan might honestly upset some people, but Borderlands has always had DLC. It is what it is. And now let us break down the various editions. Look, if you're just gonna get the base game, you'll get the base game, but you won't get the paid content that is coming out. Now, the deluxe edition will get you the bounty pack bundle and the Firehawk's Fury pack as well. The bounty pack bundle will include 4 unique areas, new missions and unique bosses, 4 vault cards, unique challenges and rewards, new gear, weapons, vehicles, and cosmetic, and then also, like I said, you'll get Firehawk's Fury, which will include 1 weapon skin. Really, if you want all the content, you gotta get the Super Deluxe Edition. The Deluxe Edition itself, I would say, is pointless. I just think they wanted to make a $100 tier so they could have the scalability, like, okay, we got an okay edition for those of you that don't want to drop $130. But if you're gonna be dropping the premium, you should be dropping the $130 because that is what gets you the Vault Hunter pack. The Vault Hunter pack is the big one where you've got 2 new playable Vault Hunters, new story missions and side missions, 2 new map regions, and new gear, weapons, and cosmetics. The Bounty Pack bundle is nice, but the Vault Hunters themselves are gonna be what does add a lot of depth to the gameplay. You'll also get the Ordinate Order pack, that's 4 Vault Hunter skills, 4 Vault Hunter heads, and 4 Vault Hunter bodies. And then the pre-purchase bonus is the Gilded Glory pack, 1 weapon skin, 1 Vault Hunter skin, and 1 Echo 4 drone skin. There is a bonus content of the Firehawk's Fury as well. You'll get that skin on top of that. Look, the Bounty Pack bundle is nice, but if you're gonna get one of the premium editions, I feel like the Vault Hunter pack is the big one with the 2 new playable Vault Hunters. The new missions and 4 unique areas, great. Like to see that, but again, if you're gonna be dropping a premium, I feel like you either save money and get the $70 edition, the base game, or you go the $130 tier and you get all of the content. I will say once again, if you're looking for a PC copy, Green Man Gaming, use the code SEP15. You'll save 15% off on whatever edition you want. The standard edition would actually be south of $60. The Super Deluxe edition, you'll save on that as well. You won't pay tax either. You're saving quite a lot versus buying the game directly from Steam. One final note, I do want to go over the system requirements that we know thus far. Minimum, you're looking at an Intel Core i7-9700 or an AMD Ryzen 7 2700X, 16 gigs of RAM, NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2070 or an AMD Radeon RX 5700 XT, or an Intel Arc A580, recommended a i7 12700 or a Ryzen 7 5800X, 32 gigs of RAM, an RTX 3080 or a Radeon RX 6800 XT, or an Intel Arc B580. Those are the system requirements for minimum and recommended. They also have noted that the game will feature NVIDIA DLSS 4 support with multi-frame generation on top of that with RTX 50 series GPU, so you can get some more performance that way as well. The game will be released on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC on September the 12th. And on top of that, it will be coming to Nintendo Switch 2 on October the 3rd. At this point, we don't know Steam Deck compatibility. I would assume it might be able to run on the deck given they're getting it to run on the Switch 2, but we'll see how that turns out. The Switch 2 is going to be a platform, I'm sure, but they're working to optimize it on. But that's going to do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts. If you want a cheaper copy of Borderlands 4 on Steam and PC, link in the description box below. To Green Man Gaming, you'll get a Steam key and you'll save a little bit of money because let's be honest, that $130 Super Deluxe Edition, that's a pretty penny to pay for Borderlands 4 if you want all the content. But that's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.